Just finished my first run of the year, 10 miles aerobic in the beautiful New Balance 1080 V13. If I could do every easy run in these, I would, but part of what I want to do this year is try a whole bunch of new shoes. One of my rules is going to be no repeat purchases, so unfortunately, we'll not be getting the 1080 again. However, the 880 V14 is going to be coming out this year. It has a little bit of a lower stack, but that same fresh foam, so that's going to be on my must-buy list. Speaking of that, today I wanted to take you through what I'm planning on doing in 2024 when it comes to running shoe purchases, and also some of the other things that I'm planning on whipping up for you this year. 2024 is going to be a big year of growth for Supwell, for what I'm doing on YouTube here, and for everything that we're building with this community. And I would love your input, your help, and your partnership with getting this thing off the ground and making this a really impactful year for all of us so that we can all get more from our running. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna go inside, have a little recovery drink, and then we can do some planning together, plotting out some of these shoe purchases for 2024. After every run, I use this Tailwind recovery mix. It has everything that you need to recover: carbs, protein, fat. No, I'm not sponsored by them. I wish I were though. Maybe I'll reach out and get a sponsorship. Essentially what this does is it gives you 90 minutes to 2 hours before you need to have solid food after a run. So if you're a super busy person, if you have kids, if you have a job, this thing is an absolute lifesaver because you can go on your run, shower, especially when working from home, go on the run, shower, go straight to the desk with one of these, sit on Zoom calls for 2 hours, and then get in your breakfast or lunch without being a complete mess on those corporate calls. So shout out Tailwind Recovery Mix. Usually I'd throw some creatine in here as well, but we're out of that today, so just gonna go with the recovery mix straight up. As I was putting away shoes, I realized I forgot one shoe in my every shoe I ran in 2023 video, and that was the Nike Vaporfly 2, which helped me score one of my best half marathon performances of the year. So this was the shoe I used for my second half marathon in June, a super hilly course that had 1,000 feet of elevation gain, and I scored my PR at the time, which was 1:23.09, and you can see the heels really took a beating here from some of those hills, just mashing down them right there. But yeah, shout out to the Vaporfly 2. I still think this is the best half marathon shoe that I've ever raced in. Probably will put some more miles in it in 2024. Definitely gonna be using it for the 5K pace comparison versus the Alphafly there and the Vaporfly there. So stay tuned this week. This guy's gonna come, and I'm sorry, Vaporfly 2, that I forgot about you. You are my favorite half marathon racer. Office is clean. Look at that beautiful, clean desk. Now time for run number 2 in the Vomeros. What's up guys? 2 runs banked today, kids are in bed. Now, as promised, it is time to take you through my plans for 2024. So I wanted to walk you through all the shoe purchases I'm planning on doing this year and giving you an opportunity to give your input on which shoes you want me to review. Before we get into the specific details of the shoes, at a high level, my goal with this channel is not to review every single shoe out there. I really like to get a deep relationship with these shoes. I like to put at least 200 miles on every pair of training shoes that comes through my door, and I like to put at least 50 miles and get 1 or 2 good race efforts into a pair of racing shoes. So even if I run 100 miles a week for this whole year, that would put me at about 5,000 miles, meaning I can review 20 to 30 shoes and get a really solid understanding of those. Now, I don't think I need to review every shoe out there to have a good understanding of the market, to understand each brand's lineup. I'm also a big reader and my brain is like a database, so by running in a shoe like the 1080, I can kind of understand how a shoe like the 880 might work, for example, if we're thinking about the New Balance line. So that is my general philosophy: sample a little bit from each brand, review shoes that I'm excited about and also that work with my training. By the way, if you haven't checked out the video I did yesterday with all the shoes that I ran in 2023, you might want to give that a view because it'll give you a good understanding of the types of shoes that I usually run in and how I structure a rotation. So right now I've been running in the New Balance 1080 a lot, the Nike Vomero, the Adidas Boston 12, and the New Balance SC Trainer V2. That's one that just came through my door. So those 4 are going to be my primary rotation for the next few months. And I think the next shoe that I'll add will probably be a daily trainer. In January, we have 2 awesome daily trainers coming up. So this is your first opportunity to give me some input here. We're either going to go with the Puma Velocity Nitro 3 or the Saucony Ride 17. Now, I've been leaning toward the Puma Velocity Nitro 3 because I actually haven't run in any Puma shoes yet. I've run in a ton of Saucony shoes over the the past 2 years. I put in a lot of miles on the Saucony Triumph 20. That uses the same Power Run Plus foam as the Saucony Ride 17, so that feels like it's a little too similar to something that I put in a lot of miles in already. And I know there's some people out there who are already getting some miles in the Saucony Ride 17. I think I might be able to add a little bit more value by reviewing the Puma Deviate Nitro 3, so let me know your thoughts on that. Now, another shoe that's coming out in January that I'm excited about trying is the Diadora Gara. Now, that's Diadora's racing shoe. It's not a cheap shoe, it's $300, but I'm gonna pick and choose very strategically which racing shoes I buy and review this year. Like I said, I'm not planning to review everything. I'm not gonna be spending thousands of dollars just on racing shoes, and I am planning to purchase most of these shoes myself. But the Gara is one that's just speaking to me. It's almost like the Ferrari of running shoes, and they actually did collaborate with another Italian race car manufacturer to design the carbon fiber plate in there. So I'm a sucker for things like that. I'm a sucker for good design. I'm a sucker for the storytelling, and this shoe is just speaking to me emotionally. I love the way this shoe looks. It's like the Tracksmith Elliott Runner of racing shoes, so this is one that I'm likely going to be purchasing as soon as it's available, and I can do a head-to-head with the Alphafly 3, which is the latest racing shoe that I've been testing. So that's January. Now I'll go through the rest of the shoes that I'm thinking about for this year. I'm just gonna do a quick 30 seconds on each. So these are not in alphabetical order. I literally just jotted this down in a note in my notes app. I will bang these out and let me know what you think. Okay, so after January, I'm thinking Saucony Triumph 22 is one that I want to try. This one is coming out in May. I love that Saucony is incorporating their Power Run PB Piva foam into a max cushion shoe. I've loved almost every Saucony shoe that I've run in, and this is one that I feel that it's important to review because Saucony hasn't come out with anything groundbreaking since the Endorphin Speed and Pro, and this one could be a really special shoe if the formula is right. All right, next one is Adidas Adios 9. This is 100%, I'm gonna buy this. It's the first fully Light Strike Pro shoe from Adidas. It's like a non-plated Takumi Sen. The Takumi Sen 8 has been one of my all-time favorite fast shoes to run in. It has a nice planted ride, but I am really curious how that foam is gonna run without plates, and the Adios 9 is the shoe that's gonna be delivering that. So that's gonna be a must-buy when it drops in September, which is my birthday month. So maybe I'll race a birthday mile or something in the shoe. Let me know what you think could be a cool thing to do with the Adios 9, but 100% gonna buy that one. Another Adidas one that's gonna be a must purchase for me is the Adidas Adizero SL2. You guys know how much of a fanboy I am for the Adizero SL1, especially the value that it offers. Now, I don't think the SL2 is gonna be as discounted as frequently as the SL1, and it is gonna be going up a little bit in cost MSRP. This one is gonna be priced at $130, but that's still super competitive with what we see from shoes like the Pegasus, the Saucony Ride. Even if we compare it up with shoes like the On Cloud Monster, On Cloud Surfer, this shoe is gonna be offering a nice soft bouncy ride because it's encapsulating Light Strike Pro in the middle of that soft and bouncy racing foam in a shell of that EVA. So it's gonna be much softer than V1, gonna be very fun, and with that much racing foam for $130, I'm super curious to see how this one does. Now, a big priority for me in 2024 is going to be trying some new brands. Adidas is one that I've tried before, New Balance is one that I've tried before, Saucony, I've tried almost everything they have, but one that I have not tried yet is Mizuno. So my first Mizuno shoe is going to be the Wave Rebellion Flash 2. Now, 2023 was a year for me where I was a little bit down on the plated trainers. I quit plated shoes for, I don't know, 4 to 6 months maybe in the middle of the year because I was really focusing on strengthening my lower legs. I was doing a lot of great track sessions with my boy Cam. Shout out to my boy Cam, by the way, who just raced the New Year's Day 5K here in Charlotte, which was his first hard effort since the Kiowa Marathon. So nice job, Cam. Looking forward to getting some work in with you in the upcoming weeks. As I was saying, plated trainers was a down year in 2023, but now I've been working them back in as I've hit these super high mileage levels. So shoes like the Adidas Boston 12, New Balance SC Trainer V2, and even just yesterday I did a 20 miler in the New Balance SC Trainer V2, and my legs feel so much better today than even they did in the Alphafly. So I think something about that combination in these plated training shoes with those big stacks of the soft racing foam combined with the plate, it just really gives your legs a lot of support and reduces the soreness. Now, of course, there are downsides, which is why I quit those shoes, because they tend to reduce the work you need to do, which again, it's like the double-edged sword that Darth Vader had. There's a positive and a negative to it. But 2023, I'm gunning for another super high mileage year. Maybe I will hit that 5,000 mile mark. I'm racing 2 marathons this year, so plated training shoes are going to have a place to stay in my rotation. And this Mizuno Wave Rebellion Flash 2 looks like a really competitive choice. So it's gonna be priced at $160. That undercuts the Saucony Endorphin Speed 3. It undercuts the New Balance SC Trainer V2. And the formula here is pretty similar to what we see in the Adidas Boston 12, where you have a firmer bottom layer, a softer top layer, and then they have a plastic plate in here. So I'm curious to see if Mizuno can make a nice high performance training shoe. And with my marathon heavy year in 2024, this is the perfect first shoe to test from the brand. Next up, we have two from New Balance that I want to try. So New Balance is probably my favorite running brand in 2023. I absolutely loved everything that I ran in from them. And so I'm going to try the 880 this year. As I mentioned in that opener, I love the 1080. 880 is going to be the same thing as the 1080 with 100% fresh foam, but a lower stack. And I'm also going to try the fresh foam Balos, so a more rockered version of the 1080 or 880, and they're mixing in a little bit of Piva. So non-plated shoe, but is going to have a little bit more fun and bounce in it than a typical daily trainer. So this should be a really competitive one to try. And while we're at it, why don't we just throw in 3 more New Balances that I'm planning to try. So Rebel V4, definitely going to try it because the Rebel V3 was my favorite shoe this year. And in the 4, they're going to all Piva, so I'm excited to see what that change is going to do. Is it going to be too squishy? Is it going to be just the right amount of pop? And then SC Pacer, another one I'm definitely going to try. I only have the Adidas Takumi Sen 8 as a 5K, 10K racing shoe in my rotation right now. This segment has exploded a little bit over the past 18 months, and I've only been rocking with this Adidas, so SC Pacer V2 is going to be the first shoe that I can test against this Takumi Sen and see if New Balance has the right formula here. And the last shoe I'm looking to try from New Balance, I'm actually on the line about this one, is the SC Trainer V3. I just got the V2 and I've been absolutely loving it, so I'm excited to see what they're doing in the V3 with this new Piva foam. Is it going to go back to the formula of V1, which I did not like at all? I actually sent that shoe back. Or is it going to be more like this V2, which has a really nice, more streamlined feeling, a little bit faster feeling to me than V1. All right guys, next up we have 2 Nikes that I'm going to try. So Peg Turbo. I've never run in any of the Pegasus Turbo editions. I know everyone loved that Peg Turbo too. I never got a chance to run in it. So this is going to be my first Peg Turbo, and as you all know, I love the non-plated lightweight training shoe segment. So this will be an interesting one to put up against the Rebel V3, put up against the Adidas Adios 9. That's going to be a great trifecta. So in the fall, it'll be super fun to do some 5K pace workouts, do some faster marathon training work in those shoes, and I'm really excited to get that one on foot as my first Peg Turbo. I've been loving the Vomero, I've been loving the Vaporfly. The Alpha Fly 3 is another hit. So Nike's been cooking up some great things in their performance shop, but things have changed a lot since the Peg Turbo 2, and it'll be interesting to see if this formula can still hit in a market that has advanced a lot since they last had success with that franchise. Other Nike I'm definitely going to try is the Pegasus 41. I always have a place in my rotation for a Pegasus, whether it's an airport shoe, a travel shoe, a treadmill shoe. I'm often traveling, often on the go. It's also a great shoe to run in with the stroller, and we do have baby number 3 on the way here any day now. So I'm going to need some great stroller running shoes in 2024. Pegasus 41 is definitely going to be one of those when it drops, likely this summer, I believe, or spring. Because I haven't had a ton of max cushion shoes on this list, and that's because I don't run in a lot of max cushion shoes. I typically only have one in my rotation at any time, and I'll use it only 1 to 2 times per week, maybe 3 times per week, if that. So with my philosophy of not running in everything on the market, I'm not going to be buying a ton of max cushion shoes this year, but one that I do want to try is the Hoka Skyflow. Now this is a brand new shoe from Hoka. I haven't run in the Clifton before. I did run in the Bondi X, which was a complete disaster. That's the only other shoe I've ever sent back other than that SC Trainer V1. But this Skyflow is designed from the ground up for people like me, for people like us, hobby joggers, recreational runners who want a little bit more performance, pop, zing from their max cushion shoes than the Bondi and the Clifton offer. So this has a layer of supercritical foam in there. It's almost like a chunkier Mach 5 in a way, and I'm hoping it runs a little bit like that old Mach 5 identity, because as we know, the Mach 6 is going to 100% supercritical foam. So this will be a fun one to put up against the Triumph, the 1080 V13, the Asics Gel Nimbus 25, and see if Hoka can return to their roots and come up with another max cushion hit now that the market has advanced a lot since they first had success pioneering this segment. And the other max cushion shoe I'm looking to try this year is the Saucony Hurricane. Now this is a more stable shoe, and it's the replacement in the lineup for the Saucony Endorphin Shift 4. I absolutely love Saucony Endorphin Shift 3, and I'm a little bit sad that it's going away. And Saucony's replacing it with the Guide 17 and this. So Guide is going to be the firmer, stable max cushion shoe, and this is going to be a little bit of a softer but still stable max cushion shoe that uses a wider platform. So like the Triumph, Saucony is using the Power Run PB Piva formula in here with the top layer of that flat, then a bottom layer of a firmer EVA. So this should have a nice soft rolling along feeling. I'm a little bit scared that it's gonna be too heavy, too plodding along for how I like my max cushion shoes to feel. New Balance 1080 V13 has taken my all-time favorite top spot for max cushion shoes, knocking off the Asics Gel Nimbus 25. And I haven't been buying many Saucony shoes recently, so it'll be interesting to see if this one can hit, if this one could be a good rival in a really competitive segment, knocking off that 1080. Let's see, who knows. All right guys, last, the final shoe that I have on this list that I'm definitely planning to get is the Topo Specter. So this is gonna be one of the first 100% non-plated Puma training shoes that has a max cushion stack. So Saucony Triumph is also gonna offer that, but the Triumph is gonna be a little bit of a slower, heavier, I think less bouncy formula than what the Topo Specter 2 is gonna have. Specter 2 is really gonna be a rival to Boston 12, SC Trainers, Endorphin Speed 3, but without a plate. This is gonna be a lightweight, fast, bouncy shoe. And I'm curious to see if it can go head to head with those plated shoes, offer the same pop, offer the same zing, offer some stability, offer some protection. This is a unique shoe. We haven't seen many brands do this before, if any. So I'm definitely gonna be testing this out to see how it competes in the faster max cushion training segment. There's two that I'm on the line about. I haven't really gotten along too well with Brooks shoes in the past, but they are introducing some softer foam formulas in 2024. And that's been my biggest complaint with Brooks in the past. Their shoes have just been too firm and they haven't worked at all with my foot strike and my cadence. But with the DNA Loft V3, with the DNA Flash V2, I'm hoping that can change. So Hyperion Max 2, I'm gonna grab that, see how it tests against the Boston 12, SC Trainer V3, and Saucony Endorphin Speed 3. And the Brooks Ghost 16, this is gonna be my first ever Brooks Ghost that I'm running in. And of course, we gotta see how that does against the Pegasus. So that rounds out the top 20 shoes that I'm definitely planning on getting in 2024. Let me know what others you want me to consider, because I'm thinking I can get probably 30 shoes max in this year, maybe a little bit more. We'll see how my mileage does, but let me know what you're thinking in that top 20 list, and let me know what others I should consider. Now, if you've watched to this point, we are doing a giveaway in January. This is our first shoe giveaway of the year, and today we have the Reebok Float Zig. I have a men's and I have a women's, so I'm giving away a men's 10.5 and a women's size 10. These are brand new. This is an unreleased shoe. It's Reebok's re-entry into the performance daily training segment. So if you're interested in these, go ahead and follow our Instagram at supwellrunning, and then send me a DM telling me how you plan to use these shoes in 2024 and how a new daily trainer is gonna support your training. So I'm excited about doing more of these giveaways and helping support your training. I'm gonna do some race shoe giveaways. I'm gonna do some performance nutrition giveaways. So stay tuned, and if you're interested in these 10.5 men's, size 10 women's, let me know. This is how we're kicking things off in 2024, making sure I can give back to the community here. All right, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll be back tomorrow with another video.